It's your boy, Coach Defense here. Thanking you for supporting the channel. Become a Lockdown Defender by hitting that subscribe button if you haven't done so already. And if you're enjoying your time, hit that like button. Help us grow in the community. Now check out our latest video. Leave a comment. And as always, you got to step up to lock it down. Let's go out to Minnesota and talk about Sam Darnold real quick. So, the Minnesota Vikings are flying high right now. 11-2. One game back from the Detroit Lions, poised to make the playoffs, and Coach Kurt's main man, Sam Darnold, has been playing well as of late. And he's been more the reason and not despite of why the Vikings have been winning and winning in this glowing fashion. It is clear that they're going to finish with a much better record than anybody anticipated going into the season. I think we all had him at the bottom of the barrel. I think we had Bears and them third and fourth, right? Right. They're two. They're one game back. So if they win a playoff game, well, take it far is even more of a feather than cap for this team and this coaching staff, right? So that begs a question because Sam is playing so well. What does the organization do with him after the season? How does it not, how does he not have a contract past the season? Just because he doesn't have a contract after the season outside of $5 million in deferred signing bonus that he has, but he doesn't have a contract next season. So they don't owe him anything if he's cut or traded outside of the $5 million deferred bonus, which is nothing for a quarterback. So what do you do if you're the GM of the Falcons, knowing that you drafted J.J. McCarthy in the first round in the past draft to be a franchise quarterback? So if you're the GM of the Vikings right now, what would you do when it comes down to Sam Darnold and whether or not you keep him or let him go?
I get my medical staff. I look and see where J.J. McCarthy is on the road to recovery.
That's smart.
If J.J. McCarthy is slated to have recovered sufficiently enough, shake Sam Darnold's hand. I say I will give you a glowing recommendation and review. And I wish you the absolute best going forward for you to secure the bag.
Okay.
But I let him walk.
Okay.
Because I have J.J. McCarthy, who... Here's the biggest thing. As much as Sam Darnold played himself into a contract, J.J. McCarthy would have been my starting quarterback this year, barring injury.
You think he would have started?
Without the way he was looking, the way he was playing.
I mean, it was only one game. He only got one preseason game on his belt before he got hurt.
But he would have stayed with Kevin O'Connell.
True. That's true. And we said earlier that he's a quarterback whisperer. So you might be right. You might be right.
So, that would have been the preseason game. We would have had that, and then we would have went into the regular season. And so we've seen it. I'm not saying that he is, but we've seen the maturation development with like a Jaden Daniels, right? So JJ with Double J, Jetty, and Jordan Addison, right? Aaron Jones.
Hawkinson,
Hawkinson just came back. So even in the beginning of the season, he would have had Jordan Addison and Julius Jefferson with Aaron Jones, which is a lethal combination.
Yeah.
And then he would have eventually got TJ Hawkinson.
Right.
So to me, at that situation, and again, it was a small sample size, but the way he was playing.
Oh, I got a good question.
If he's ready to go, I let Sam Darnold walk, and I thank him for such a great season. And hey, just send me $1 when you get paid.
That's a good one. Okay, so let me ask you this question before I get my take. So, do you think that if JJ hadn't gotten hurt, they would be in the exact same position they are right now?
That's a great question. Exact same position, maybe not exact, but I think they would have been close.
Okay.
The defense would have still been the defense.
That's true. That is always the fact. And I still that's why I give Brian Flores so much credit, because with the personnel he has, he should not be doing what he's doing. I give him and why am I spacing on the coordinator from Vance Joseph from the Broncos. I give them all the credit in the world from getting squeezing all of that juice out of those oranges to make those defenses play the way they're playing, because they don't have any talent to the level what the Steelers have. Any talent to the level of what the Chiefs have. Just name it on the top of the dome, two teams that got great defenses from a personnel and a scheme perspective.
Right.
Schematically, they're playing great football defensively. So I give that all to the coaches. All to the coaches. But you're right.
Yes.
I do believe that they, because Kevin O'Connell if he can get what he get out of Josh Dobbs and Kirk Cousins. I'd be damned if he can't get that out of Sam Darnold and JJ McCarthy. So yeah, I give Kevin O'Connell a lot of credit.
Yeah.
Definitely that. So for me though, if I am Sam, I want to stay.
Oh, what? Yes.
Yeah, I want to stay. If I am Kevin O'Connell, I could have the best of both worlds. Veteran bridge quarterback, and I bring back the rookie who I choose to groom on slowly and still win. If I'm the GM, could I be convinced by a quarterback needing team to trade him away and get another player or draft capital to build around JJ? Yeah, I can see that angle and the way that can happen as well. But if all that is true, then that gets in the way of, that gets in the way of what the question would be, for Sam's sake.
Right.
I think that it would be a situation where, Sam could really, really, truly flourish in this organization. But I got questions about whether or not he can flourish outside of this organization. I think that he is a product, i.e. Brock Purdy, I'm going to say it. I think that he's a product of his system and his coaches and his weaponry. I think that is really aiding and helping him flourish this season. And I think that the lack of dysfunction on top of that is allowing Sam to flourish, because we've seen this movie before. We've seen him with the Panthers. We've seen him with the Jets. We see the dysfunction the Raiders got going on, what the Browns got going on. I mean, all these quarterback needy teams, we've seen it. And I don't think that Sam as a person wants to go back to that. So if he leaves Minnesota, that's what likely he's going to be at, because if they trade him, he's going to go to a quarterback needy team that's likely dysfunctional. And he's going to be right back where he started at. And he's like, he's not going to have a good coordinator. He's like, he's not going to have a lot of weaponry. He's like, he's not going to have a good old line. With all that, he got all of that going for him in Minnesota. So if I'm him, I would lobby to want to stay. And you got to add on to the fact that JJ, because he's hurt, hasn't been practicing. See, it's one thing if you're Jordan Love, right? Where you just sitting behind Aaron Rodgers and you're practicing every day. You're getting physical reps every day. Yeah, you might be standing on the sideline with crutches or whatever, or in a boot or something like that, watching. But he's not physically getting reps and carrying out fakes and reading defenses from a live bullet perspective, right? He's not getting that. So he's not going to get that till next season. So effectively, he will have another training camp to get right and get into this offense and get going, right? And we hadn't seen him in a live 4-quarter real live action yet. So there's that question. So do I want to allow him to have a best of both worlds scenario? And let's be honest, having 2 good quarterbacks in your system is not a bad thing, because quarterbacks do tend to get hurt.
Right.
So do I keep Sam keep him for one more year, let JJ get back healthy, don't rush him, and get back right and get into the offense and get to the point where I'm really truly comfortable how Matt LaFleur felt with Jordan Love, and I can now get rid of Aaron Rodgers? If I want to feel like that, then I will keep saying. I will keep saying. So I'll keep him for one more year. I don't got to pay him the ransom. Let's be real. Yes, you got a Pro Bowl year, but we're not gonna break the bank here if you want to stay. Right. So I think that's where it boils down to. If I'm them, I would keep him for one more year. I'll give him a modest contract, a franchise tag, whatever the case may be, a transitional tag, something like that. Give him some decent money. Let him play one more year. You get even more comfortable as being a leader and being a quarterback. Then he can go get paid somewhere else. And maybe it won't be a more favorable situation. Somebody that has a rookie quarterback that they need to do the same thing with, kind of groom and bring on slowly, and he can play another 2 or 3 more years, uninhibited. But yeah, if I'm the Vikings, I honestly would consider keeping him. And if he gets traded somewhere else, I really feel like he's back on the struggle bus, and it's back to the same old Sam. And poor dear old Sam, for that matter, because man, I don't want to see seeing ghosts in the Jets version of Sam Darnold or the Panthers version of Sam Darnold. I don't want to see it. Hell, maybe if they don't want to pay Brock Purdy, maybe he's go back to San Fran and do what he did for the Vikings. Who knows? But I think they should keep Sam Darnold, in my opinion. Just for me. And just to quantify, like I said, his numbers are good. Throughout this 14 weeks of games. I mean, he's had multiple 3 to 4 touchdown games. He had 5 last week against the Falcons. He hadn't thrown a pick in 4 games. Shouts out to that. Quarterback ratings in the hundreds the last 3-4 games. So yeah, he's been looking good. He's looking good. So yeah, if I'm them, I would keep him at a modest contract and let him. I'm with you. Let them battle it out. If JJ comes in and he clearly blows everybody away and blows Sam Darnold off as far as being the starter, then yeah, throw your future out there now. But if he's still, working his way back from an injury, still trying to trust his legs and get his mobility back, because let's be real, when you hurt that knee the first time, it takes a little while for you to start trusting things again. Because when you go from having everything working like normal, and all of a sudden one leg is stronger than the other, and you pushing off different, and the velocity in the ball ain't coming out the same because you're trying to rehab your leg and all this kind of stuff, those things are tricky.
Right.
So you have to be cognizant of that. So I'll give him another year, and again, give him another bridge year, because clearly JJ's your guy. But I think that keep him for one more year and have a good starter and a good backup. And then if somebody gets hurt, I don't lose a beat.
Sounds good. But yeah, it's it's a tough situation to be in, because Sam has played so well.
I know.
But then we can't forget the Sam we've seen, but it also highlights how much of it was Sam, right? When we look at the Jets, they haven't developed a quarterback
ever.
It was nothing Sam could have done to right that ship.
The Panthers were in the midst of their dumpster fire. Before now, already had their guy. It's just bad in unfortunate circumstances. So when he finally got in a stable, non-dysfunctional environment, he was able to flourish.
Yeah, with the quarterback whisper. So we see how that's going.
Yeah, and it truly, really, unless you're a generational type of quarterback, unless you're Josh Allen or Patrick Mahomes or Joe Burrow, Justin Herbert, you can't overcome dysfunction. It's really, truly about where you land. A lot of quarterbacks. So, yeah. So we'll see what happens, but I'm advocating for Sam to stay one more year for me.